Welcome to the channel, folks. My name is Ryan. I'm the trubeleafer, and I found out something pretty interesting. Dig this. I'm in the middle of quite a huge debate with all sorts of friends of mine because I posed the question, should Vancouver have pulled their goalie so soon? I believe it was around 4 minutes left on the clock and they were down 4-1. And everyone kept saying the same thing, like close personal friends of mine. Troops, you might as well go for it, man. It's pretty much impossible to win at that point. So why not increase your odds by pulling the goalie? It just makes sense. It just makes sense. Oh, that makes sense? Yeah. There's even stats to prove it. But is there really? Let's take a look. Okay, so the main research that everyone tries to call up in this kind of debate is some research done in a 2018 study by NYU math professor Aaron Brown and hedge fund manager Clifford Asness. Asness? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Hedge fund manager, you say? Yeah, we'll get to that later. They did a study on when it's appropriate to pull your goalie. And for the record, all the data they collected was based from the 2015-2016 NHL regular season. Yeah, only 1 year. But hey, let's roll with it. Let's roll with it. I'm trying not to be too biased here. Now, I came across all this by going to bigthink.com, where you can find this article. In it, there's a link to take you to papers.ssrn.com, and you can see the real case study. Now, it's a 13-page essay or paper or whatever you want to call it. Don't worry, I'm going to summarize it for you here. The way they constructed their formula was based on 5 factors: the probability of scoring with your goalie in, of scoring without your goalie, the probability that your opponent will score with your goalie pulled, the goal differential at the time, and how much time is remaining on the clock. Yeah. The whole strategy is just based on 5 factors. I like to think life's a little bit more complicated than that, but carry on. Now, the way they came up with the probability of you scoring by not pulling your goalie, just leaving it 5-on-5, they took the number of even strength goals in the 2015 to 2016 season, which was 4,947, and they divided it by the minutes played at full strength for the same season, which ended up being 126,425. Yeah, I'm throwing numbers at you guys. It's gonna be that kind of video. You can summarize it by saying a 0.65% chance of scoring a goal at any 10-second interval for the rest of the game. Every 10 seconds, you're getting a 0.65% chance of scoring. 5-on-5 even strength. If you use the same method to calculate when you have your goalie pulled, your chances go from 0.65% up to 1.97%. Yeah, that's not even 2%. But I know in sports, that's a lot, so at times it's gonna be worth it. Let's continue. The percentage for your opponent to score in 5-on-5 even strength at all times is also 0.65% every 10-second interval. And when you have your goalie pulled, you can expect an equally big number, right? Yeah, kind of. More like 4.3% at every 10-second interval. Yeah, that's like a bunch more, man. But don't worry, guys. They take care of that. They say what matters is expected number of standing points. A team down a goal with short time remaining gains a lot by scoring, and losing little if the other team scores, as losing by 2 goals is no worse than losing by 1. Perhaps the lesson we can apply outside of hockey is that sometimes what seems like the right criterion is, in fact, not. And selecting the right one can make an important difference. Yeah, I know, bro. Do you guys? Now from there, they try to apply all this information through this formula right here. Longtime friends of the channel know that I'm pretty good at math, and I have no idea what they're trying to apply here. But they use this chart right here to kind of show that there's a maximum period where, even though you are down by a goal, it's still too much time, don't pull them. So I'll give them credit for that. But do you guys have any idea what the actual times they're saying you should pull the goalie? When down by 1 goal, you should pull your goalie with no less than 6 minutes and 10 seconds left in the 3rd period for a goal. If you're down by 2 goals, 13 minutes left in the 3rd period. But they do say if you tie it up and there's still more than 6 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock, put the goalie back in, and if you're still down at 6-10, pull him then. Okay, down by 3 goals? You need to pull your goalie with at least 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in the 2nd period. Like, guys, have you even laced up skates before? Because I'm telling you, if you're saying things like that to me, I really question if you've ever played this game. Pulling your goalie in the 2nd period is lunacy. And again, why do they say to do it? Because in the end, losing by 4 is no worse than losing by 1. It's still 0 points in the standings. Yeah, but trying to come back when you're down 5-1 is a lot harder than trying to come back when you're down 2-1. See, with a 2-1 deficit, any little bounce off a shin pad, stick, boards, glass can give me a bit of puck luck and I can score. Not to mention all the talent on my NHL level team. 2-1 keeps you in the game. If you keep trying to follow the stats on this one, with each goal against, that little algorithm just spirals right out of control. Heck, if you go down a goal in the first, you might as well just pull your goalie until you tie it back up. Statistically, you've got the best chance of scoring with 6 guys on the ice because, hey, better to lose 10-1 than it is 2-1, right? Like, do you guys even hear that? Do you guys even hear how that sounds? I swear the worst parts of this report are still yet to come. They claim that coaches don't want to listen to this because they're too afraid to look bad. Here's something they actually said. Coaches are not actually rewarded for winning. They are rewarded for being perceived as good coaches. Which, to be fair, doesn't sound all that bad when you think about it. Like, if 2 coaches had the same record, but Coach A was always within a goal, and Coach B keeps getting blown out 10-1, only one of those coaches would get fired because Coach A looks like he's doing his best, but he just doesn't have the right players. Whereas Coach B looks like a horrible coach, and only he would get fired. Do you guys even watch sports? Coaches get fired all the time. Ones that are perceived as good coaches. Claude Julien, for example. Everyone knows that guy's good, and he got tossed from Montreal for a tied record. Where's your math on that one? I mean, yeah, we will think Coach B is an absolute moron. He will literally have no respect from anybody. But they both getting fired, bro. And the most important part that you really need to check out for yourself if you don't believe me is that throughout this report, they keep making it relate back to risk management for investors. Yeah, remember when I said that one of the guys involved was a hedge fund manager? Oh, I see. This report is nothing more than self-advertising to hand out to investors. I mean, not directly, but if they can convince NHL teams to follow their new method in sports, think about how much investment business that'll bring in. Oh yeah. So you put together a little presentation. You do some great research with some great stats, code it in some math, claim that you just love the game so much that's why you wanted to do this report, and get even just 1 or 2 coaches to follow along. Now if it works especially, even for just 1 game. Yeah, if you all remember, Toronto did it last year in the playoffs. Sorry, play-ins. And it worked. Oh, that's such good news for guys like this. But more importantly, here's why I really hate the idea of pulling a goalie that soon. When you make a decision based on statistics like this, what you're saying as a coaching staff is, I have no faith in anyone here on this bench to come back. We're down so badly that we might as well go down 4 or 5 more goals with a net pulled. Is that really the message you want to send to your boys? You don't think they can get another goal, even just 1, in 4 minutes? How many of you Leaf haters out there are so willing to point out how easily it is to come back when you're down 3 or 4 goals against the Leafs without pulling your net? And now you same people want to look at me and go, yeah, you probably should have pulled your net that soon. Come on, man. All Vancouver needed was 1 goal. 1 in 4 minutes. Because even if they scored that goal with under a minute left on the clock, you can pull the goalie then and still have time. You know there's been goals in the NHL where they've gone from one end to the other and put it in less than 5 seconds? I mean, the fastest goal in history, I swear, is like less than 2 seconds. Off the face-off and in she goes. So when you pull a move like that, all you're saying is, we got nothing left. So we might as well throw a Hail Mary. And for those of you who still say it's a good move, trust me, at times, it is. But that depends on the boys on the bench and the coach running it. If he looks at those guys and truthfully thinks, you know what, they've been making some good plays in the last couple minutes. I think if we pull the goalie now, we could get this done. So-and-so's hot. So-and-so is hot. They're clicking. They're vibing. Let's do it. Let's gamble. And that's exactly how the Vancouver coach might have felt. Then so be it. Honestly, he should go for it then. But that's the kind of stuff that you don't know and I don't know because we're not on the bench with them. So every one of my idiotic opinions always comes with that little grain of salt, right? I'm not there. I can't speak for them. But I'll try to. And I don't think it's a good coaching move to pull the goalie that soon. What you do is you motivate the boys to say, get me 1. Get me 1. Make this a 4-2 game. I'll pull the goalie right now. But get me 1. You get me 1, I got your back. Yeah. But what do I know? I'm just a guy in my basement. Except I'm not though, am I? Some of you out there know I've got some good credentials. Yeah, I said credentials. And you know I'm not so full of crap. But if I miss something or you want to add something or you want to disagree with me, by all means, have it down in the comments below. It doesn't get toxic, I'm telling you. We're all good around here, okay? It's gonna be good hockey talk. Plus you can check out any one of the links below for the Discord or the Twitch channel. I mean, really, it's a great thing that's going on right now. So don't miss it. And if you're feeling really saucy, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm going for 1,000 and I'm way behind. So any little click will help.